Hey comic book fans, my nerdy friends, my geeky compadres, what's going on? This is going to be the question and answer video, part of my 600 subscribers contest thing I had going. One of the questions that I asked everybody who entered is to ask me a question or two or three or seven, whatever. It's kind of like a getting to know RWC type thing. I did this before, and all those questions were pretty much comic based. I said this time, let's open it up. It can be anything, just any question at all, whatever. So yeah, we'll just dive into it. I have the questions all written down right here, and I have some of the answers, so you'll see me looking down. I also have some things kind of set up around me to show when I answer the questions. So let's just get started, shall we? Okay, so first person that I have questions from is Wednesday Serial, Matt. He asked 6 questions. I believe he is the one with the most questions. Some of them not so serious, but we'll just answer them all. So first he said, asked, "Are you crazy? Why'd you put me at the top of the project?" For you that don't know, we had a Batman Hush community project that we did this last month, and I had Matt do the first issue, review the first issue of the project. So he was asking me why I did that. First off, because you're awesome. Secondly, I wanted to incorporate someone from the last community project, the Dark Phoenix Saga project, into the video, kind of as an homage to community projects. So I wanted to take you from the community project, the last one, and then put you at the beginning of this one, just to kind of show my respect, I guess. So yeah, and you did an awesome job, so that's why I put you at the top. Next, he asks, how the hell did you get 600 friggin' subs? I have no idea. Not a clue. Dumb luck, I guess. I don't know. I honestly am not sure why so many people click that subscribe button. I really don't see myself as doing anything special. I just like talking about comics, showing them off, and being involved. And that brings the subscriptions. That's awesome. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Then he asked, "What do you use to edit with?" When I film my videos, like I am right now, me to you, I just use my phone. I use the front-facing camera of my Samsung Galaxy S3. And the microphone usually picks up the sound pretty well. So that's what I use to film. What I use to edit with, not that I do all that much editing, I use Windows Live Movie Maker. It's free, came with a computer, and it actually has a pretty decent amount of options. As far as like fade in, fade out type stuff, and adding music and all that stuff. It does the job for me. I do kind of wish I could get more into editing, doing special effects and stuff like that, but I haven't taken the leap to actually buy any editing software. That probably won't come for a long time. Then you asked, I'm guessing you're dropping Deadpool. What are you putting in its place? With Marvel coming out with all these new comics that they have in like the last couple months, I've actually dropped a whole lot of stuff as far as taking the place of Deadpool. I mean, I picked up Moon Knight, I picked up Magneto, I picked up Iron Fist. You know, any of those three can say that they took the place of Deadpool, but you know, I see my pull list kind of fluctuates all the time. So really, as far as one taking the place of, it doesn't really happen. It just, things come and go. Whoop. The ball in my earring just fell out. Don't want to lose that. Let's see. Next, you said, you asked, did you try anything different for Free Comic Book Day, and what did you think of those comics? I didn't really try a whole lot of new stuff. Don't get me wrong, I went and picked up a whole bunch of free books. But one I did like was Mouse Guard. That was really cool. I like that a lot. But I haven't dove into picking up any issues of Mouse Guard or anything like that. Yeah, I guess I didn't really try anything new. Not really. And then you asked, last question, what do you drink when you film? Actually, right now I don't have anything with me, which is odd, but usually it's something like milk or Gatorade. When I do hangouts, I'll have a beer or two, maybe. But yeah, you know, just whatever I happen to have lying around the house. Usually milk or Gatorade, like I said. Sometimes orange juice. I like orange juice. But yeah, that's it. Next, I got one question from Wellington, the Comic Book Lowdown. And he asked, what villain is most like you and why? That's a tough question. Because I'd want to be... Well, I can't say that one villain is or I'm a lot like one villain. Like, I'd want to be like Scarecrow. You know, he's one of my favorite villains of all time. Or, you know, Dr. Doom, he's one of my favorites too. Where they kind of use their mind a little bit more than they use their brawn. Don't get me wrong, Dr. Doom uses quite a bit of brawn, but, you know, Scarecrow using fear toxin as his main thing is really why I like him so much. He's more of a, you know, cerebral villain, you know, and that's what I like about him. So I'd like to say that I'm like them, but you know, I don't know if I have that potential. I'd probably end up being more like Matter Red from oh man, I can't even remember the book now. What was the name of that book? I was really stoked about for a long time, and now I dropped it and I can't remember it. Bedlam. Bedlam was the name of the book. Matter Red, he's just freaking crazy. But I don't see myself as that crazy either, so... Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a real tough question. I'd like to say Scarecrow, but I'm not that smart. Next, a couple questions from Punkhead66. Who is your favorite comic character, and who would be your dream team to write and draw the title? That, as far as the character, was pretty easy. Moon Knight is my favorite character. Just big fan of his. I like how he's like a street level vigilante, but has multiple personalities. That I just love that. As far as a dream team, Mark Waid writing it would be sweet. I love what he's done with Daredevil. And Daredevil's another one of those street level heroes that I think Mark Waid could do well with. As far as art, I'm going to go completely nuts, because this would never this would never happen, and probably wouldn't work out very well. But I'm a huge Bernie Wrightson fan. I love all the stuff he's done as far as horror comics and stuff like that. I love him. Frankenstein Alive is just brilliant. His work on there is amazing. But I'd really love to see him do some crazy stuff with Moon Knight. That would be insane. I'd really enjoy that, but it would never happen. And you ask, favorite movie of all time. Most people would say they have a big problem with picking out a favorite movie of all time, blah, blah, blah. I don't. High Fidelity is my favorite movie of all time. John Cusack movie. He is a record store owner / collector who wants to know why he's being dumped all the time. He just went through a terrible breakup with his longtime girlfriend Laura, and ends up going through the relationships of the past and meeting up with the girls that broke up with him, or they had failed relationships, and it's awesome. I love it. It's a fantastic movie. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go see it, or read the book. There's a book too, novel. Novel came first, but it's a fantastic story. I love it so much. Next, Hitman Von Doom asked me a couple questions. First, he asked, "How many times do you defecate per day?" Usually 2 to 3, maybe 4, depending on what I ate throughout the day or the previous day. Today, so far, it has been 2. I will keep you updated. Usually go poo one more time before bed. So yeah, usually 2 to 3. And then he asked, "What do you do when you feel a little down and depressed?" This has been something that Adrian's been doing videos on, his bipolar disorder videos, and I've really been enjoying them. I think he's doing something really great and unique with those videos, and we have been talking back and forth quite a bit because I suffer from a little bit of depression every now and then. I've never been diagnosed or anything like that, but I get these times where, for no reason, I'll just feel down. And as far as what I do in those times, it kind of depends on what's making me feel down. I'll usually listen to music, go for a drive or go for a walk. If it's something like I have had a lot of friends of mine pass away in my life, and if it's one of them that's kind of weighing on me a bit, I'll go visit their graves. That doesn't necessarily help a whole lot, but it does a little bit. It's hard to explain as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I'll go visit graves of friends that have passed. I'll look through pictures, or listen to music that reminds me of them, because as a part of my music is a huge part of my life, and there's always something that reminds me of almost everybody I meet. So, yeah, most of the time it's just listen to music or read. Sometimes it's just man up and suffer through it. I don't know. I could do a whole video on that, but I don't want to get in on your territory. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that was it from Adrian. Next is from Adam Day. He asks, "What is your biggest regret in the comic book world?" I don't really know. I haven't been collecting that long. It's only been about a year and a half. I mean, I got a couple books when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I guess my biggest regret would be not sticking with it. I just didn't... I don't know. That's a tough one. Because, like, I didn't really know that there was, like, monthly comics, I guess. Like, when I was 13, 14, I went to Comic-Cons and just picked up stuff while I was there. I didn't really have any shops around me to go visit all that often. So, I mean, I guess my biggest regret would be not starting earlier. You know, as far as regrets with collecting now, I don't really have any. You know, every book I pick up, I regret my first review being Morbius on YouTube. That was my big debut, reviewing Morbius. That's a regret I have, I guess. But yeah, as far as like regrets like that, I don't really have any. I've never sold any. Actually, right now I regret not being able to find my trade of the Sixth Gun, Volume 1. Because now I have to go buy it again. I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, I get that. I guess that's my regret right now. Next, got a couple questions from the Vision of Comics. First, he asked, "Where do you see your channel going?" It's gonna be the same. I have no desire to change anything that I'm doing. I love doing my weekly hauls. I love doing my lightning round reviews. I love doing hangouts. I love doing these little special things like contests and question videos and back issue hauls. I don't really see my channel going too much anywhere past that. You know, as far as growing in subscribers and stuff like that, that would be fantastic. I just don't know if I see it happening. You know, a lot of people all the people that I see that have like 1,000 subscribers and more do really special things, and I don't have the knowledge or the collection to show things like Captain Strangelove does. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say where I see my channel going. I don't think I'll ever have the want or desire to monetize my videos. I've had a few companies email me about monetizing my videos and stuff like that. I just don't care to. It's not what I'm doing this for. I don't, you know, feel like I need to make money off of this. It's not a big deal to me, especially when you look at the sum of money that they'll give you for every view or whatever. It doesn't make sense, and I don't want to bombard all my friends with, you know, advertisements and stuff. It's not my style. So, yeah, I don't really see my channel going anywhere, really. This is going to stay the same. Get used to it, folks. This is it. He also asked, "Do you ever collect as an investment?" Not yet. I haven't. You know, everything I collect is for personal gain. Like, I not monetary. I like reading stories. And I like the books I like. You know, so as far as collecting for an investment, first I don't have the money to, like, buy huge books like that. Like, anything that would, you know, be a big, you know, money later on in life. Like, you know, I don't have the cash to do that right now, so I'm not even going to bother. Like, the one book that I have right now that might be worth money later on is the first appearance of Iron Fist. And I just don't see that bumping up in price. So no, I don't collect as an investment. Not really. I mean, maybe one day when I pass away, Lucas can get some money out of the collection. You know, good for him if he can. But I don't have anything too awfully special to the rest of the world, that would make it worth a whole lot of money. It's just worth it more to me because it's the books I enjoy. So, no, not really. Next, I have one question from Tom, Hippies Collectibles, and this one actually took some research. He asked, what is my Golden Age, Atomic Age, and Silver Age Holy Grail books? Now, as far as my Golden Age Holy Grail book, it'd be More Fun Comics number 52. That's the first appearance of the Spectre. I would really love to get that book, but it's one of those books, like I just talked about, that costs a crap ton of money right now. So that just would never happen, I don't think. And then as far as Atomic Age, I had to do quite a bit of research on the Atomic Age. I didn't know much about it. But I started looking through books from this time, and one that really stood out to me is the three-dimensional Tales from the Crypt of Terror number 2. It's the retelling of the EC Comics horror stories in 3D. So you get the glasses with it, and you just read horror stories in 3D. I thought that would be cool to have. Who wouldn't love that, And then as far as Silver Age Holy Grail, this has been my Holy Grail for a very long time. And that is Fantastic Four number 48, which is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and the first appearance of Galactus. I would love to have that book. I've seen it a few times at cons, and the price is just ridiculous. And it's something I'll never have. But really, I don't know. Those would be my Holy Grails, I guess. There's a whole bunch of other books that I'd love to get. Any Golden Age book would be sweet to get. I don't have any right now. And it'd be cool just to have one, but the first appearance of Spectre is kind of the big one for me. Next, I have a question from Elizabeth, who is 0XX Young X Justice XX0. She asked, if you could wipe your memory of one series that you love, and then wipe your memory of it to be able to read it all over again, what would it be? I said this for quite a long time, and my favorite run or story arc of comics is the Quiver run of Green Arrow. I love that run. It's just fantastic. If I could wipe my memory of that and then reread it again and have my mind blown like it was, that would be great. That would be fun. Actually, it's getting kind of close to that because I've lent out my copies of those issues to a friend of mine, and he's had them for like a year now. And I'm starting to not remember what it was about. I just remember it being awesome and enjoying it quite a bit. So I'm actually kind of going back and recollecting those as a second copy of all those issues. So maybe I can find them again and have a second copy. But yeah, the Quiver run of Green Arrow, one of my all-time favorite story arcs for sure. It is one of the ones that I collected first and read first and really, really enjoyed. So that would be it. Next, we have a question from Jacob Wendell. Who is your favorite NHL team? Being from Detroit or Michigan, close to Detroit, of course it's the Red Wings. Fantastic team. I was a huge fan back in the day when Stevie Yzerman was the captain, when he had Fedorov playing. Just every time hockey's on, when it's hockey season, I have to watch a few Red Wings games. I'm not as big of a Red Wings fan as I am a Tigers fan, or a hockey fan as big as I am as a baseball fan. But whenever I watch hockey, it's got to be the Red Wings. Love those guys. You know, great team. Forever. I mean, been in the playoffs for the last 21 years. We've made it. So, pretty big accomplishment, and you can't go wrong. You know, Detroit's hockey town. So, you know, gotta love the Red Wings. Next question from Yoakum Comic Center. He asks, if you could take on the life of any superhero for the rest of the time you have left, who would it be? Wow. That's a tough one. You know, I'm sure a lot of people would be like Batman, Superman, whatever. The only problem I have with that is they have really terrible personal lives and family lives. I love being a part of a family. My son and my wife mean everything to me. So, taking that into consideration, I'd have to say Animal Man. With everything that he's gone through in his life and his family being such a prominent part of the books, at least as far as I've read, I'd have to say Animal Man. Plus being able to, like, you know, be a part of the Red and take on animal characteristics, that'd be pretty sweet. Who wouldn't want that, right? So yeah, Animal Man would be my answer. Next, King Joe asked me a few questions. He said, if you could get rid of any comic book hero in history, who would it be and why? And then he asked a villain, and for both Marvel and DC. I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. As far as villains, I am not wanting to get rid of any villain ever. I kind of always root for the bad guy. I don't know why. That's just been a thing in my life. And I haven't come across any villains in my reading that I despise so much that I want to get rid of them. So I'm going to have to take a pass on that question. But as far as superheroes go, I would love to get rid of Cyclops. And I would love to get rid of Superman. Now, I know that if we wipe them from history, a lot of comic book characters would not happen. I get that. Really, I do. But if we could take this as wipe them from comic book history, but not, you know, mess up the rest of comic books, that's who I would choose. I would choose Superman. I'd love to never have seen him ever. That would be great. And Cyclops is just such a jerk that I don't like him. I'd love to see him gone too. I know a lot of people are liking the new Cyclops book, but I don't care. I don't like him. And then you also asked, who would you like to see a Treasury edition done for? I would love to see a Spectre Treasury edition. Because a lot of people don't really know him. Either the Spectre or Etrigan the Demon. I don't know if he has a Treasury edition or not. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I'd love to see those done. That'd be sweet. It'd be expensive as hell, but that'd be sweet. Next, couple questions from Gimpy204. He asks, how do you top your pizza? Usually, I kind of, it depends if it's family pizza or if it's pizza for me. Family pizza, we usually just do pepperoni, sometimes sausage and bacon. But if it's just for me, I get ham, pineapple, I know you don't like it, but I do, and bacon with garlic crust from Hungry Howie's. That shit is the bomb. I love that stuff. Had it one time when I was playing poker and drunk, and loved it since. It's my pizza. I love that pizza. He asked, if you could live in any other decade, what would it be? I've always been fascinated with, like, the gangster 20s. Always wanted to live in that time. And that's what I'd have to say, the gangster 20s. I don't know if I'd be in a gang, but I'd love to live in that time and be around when that's going on. You know what I mean? I would love that. I'd probably like to be in a gang too. I mean, honestly, if I'm living that time, I'd be right next to Al Capone. That'd be sweet. It would. And his last question is, who's your favorite Beatle and favorite Beatles song? Wow. Actually, I think you first asked if I was a Beatle fan. Yes. Let me just say yes. I have all the Beatles albums on CD, and I have quite a collection of Beatles vinyl that I absolutely love. So, Beatles fan, yes. As far as favorite Beatle, it's got to be John Lennon. I just love that guy. His mind was just tremendous, and his musical ability was great. As far as favorite song, my all-time favorite Beatles favorite song is not a Beatles original song. It's actually off of this album here, Live at the Hollywood Bowl. Side 1, track 1, Twist and Shout. I love the Beatles version of Twist and Shout. It makes me just go absolutely nuts. Every time I hear it, I just love it. Plus, it makes me think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, love that track. It's great. But if we're going to go favorite original Beatles song, it is the title track off the album Help. The song Help, I loved it when I first heard it in 8th grade, I think. Just fantastic. And, of course, written by John Lennon. Yep, it's great. Then I have one question from Brian, Emsky361. He asks, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? I don't really know. I just like ice cream. I'm not a huge fan of strawberry. That's just kind of weird to me. I mean, you know what? I really like chocolate. I'm going to go easy and basic. I'm going to pick chocolate. Chocolate's just awesome. It's fantastic ice cream flavor. Especially at this place over by me called Cook's Dairy. They make, it's a dairy farm. They have cows and everything, and they make their own ice cream and all that. And their chocolate is just phenomenal. Just amazing. The best chocolate ice cream you'll ever have. So if you're ever by and you want to get some good ice cream, come on over. We'll go to Cook's and I'll get you some chocolate ice cream. It's really, really good. Next, got a couple questions from Mac Hammer, Brendan. We have this running joke on Twitter where I'm his father. And he asked if I could explain the birds and bees. Buddy, I hope by now you figured it out because you're old enough to know. And if not, just Google it. You know, whatever. We're not going to go on to explain it here, but yeah, just Google it. You'll get it. Next, he asked, this is a serious question, he asked how I got into geocaching. I don't remember how I heard of it, but I remember hearing about it like years ago. And one day, Emily and I were talking, and we were thinking to ourselves, like, we should do something just random and fun. And, you know, we need to find something else to do other than just sit around and watch movies and TV and stuff. So, it just, like, came to me that I remember hearing something about, like, high-tech treasure hunting. And for those of you who don't know what geocaching is, that's pretty much it. You get GPS coordinates. You go there, find little container, whatever, and you write your name down in a log, pick a little prize out of the box, and leave something for somebody else to find. I have, this geocaching book. Like, all it is a sketchbook, but we started it, and we would go out, and I would log what the name is, what the coordinates are, all that, draw a picture of what it was like, and then write a little something about the day that we went to go find it, and then we took pictures, and we posted them all in this book. This book is completely full. I mean, there's ones of just Emily and I. There's ones that I did on my own. There's ones we did as family. I don't know how many we found all together, but yeah, this book is just completely full. Yeah, it was cool. I haven't been doing it too much lately, but I might get back into it. And then as far as like the stuff you can get, we have this box of stuff that we were keeping for a while. Lucas got really into rubber duckies, and there was a whole series of them that we found. So there's rubber duckies, buttons, stuff like that. Oh, here's something that I actually bought off the geocaching website because we were super into it. This is like a little geocaching coin. I bought this for 100 fines. I want to say we went to we have to have done like 200, 300. But yeah, geocaching, it was fun. We'll probably do it again eventually, but it's something that we don't do too often now. We kind of found everything around us while we were doing it, so got kind of burnt out on it, and yeah. Next, we have a question from Mike87 Boba Fett. He asks, "What's your go-to book if you had nothing else to read?" First off, I have a ton to read. If you haven't seen my my to-read pile, it's ridiculous. But if there comes a day and I don't have anything in particular to read, there's a few books that I have that are like my go-to books. Alan Moore Swamp Thing, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Always love reading Swamp Thing, and Alan Moore was just the master. Punk Rock Jesus. This book kind of changed my view on comics completely. When I read this, I tweeted out, I did a review of it, and I said it's comic book life-changing, and it was. Love this book. Daredevil Yellow. Again, love this book. Done by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Phenomenal stuff. Actually, it's funny, all of these books that I just showed you, I double dipped on. I have in singles and in trade, because they're just awesome. And then another one that I'll go back and reread, Hellboy. This is Volume 1. This is Seed of Destruction. Nate gave me this book, and it's phenomenal. If you don't know anything about Hellboy, read it. It's fantastic. I've read this 3 times already since I got it, and it's just awesome. And Hellboy will be one of those things that if I can, I'll pick up every now and again, just because I want to be more involved in that Mignola-verse, Next, Andrew Osborne asked me a few questions. He said, if Superman and the Hulk were to have a fight, who would win? Come on. It would be Superman. And I hate saying it, but it would be Superman. You can't beat the guy. And that's the crap thing about him. He has every power imaginable, and if something happens to come up, he'll just make up a power. So Superman. He asks, where does Superman store his boots while being Clark Kent? It's a good question. I prefer to think that he stuffs them up his ass. Yeah, we'll go with that. I think that's what he does. And then, who would you like to see fight? One from DC and one from Marvel. I'm going to give you the same answer I gave King Joe and say Cyclops and Superman. Because in the end, one of them is going to die, and I will be happy. So, Cyclops and Superman. I would love to see that fight. I think Cyclops would be the one dying, which I'm totally cool with. That'd be great. Next, CJ asks, why are you a little bitch? And that hurts. Right in the feelings. That hurts. Jerk. No, he asked me that question just kind of as a joke. Then he asked, what is my favorite book? Because I asked everybody else what their favorite book was. My favorite book, X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills, signed by Chris Claremont. Got it signed with all my friends at Motor City Comic Con. John, Nate, CJ. Brad ended up buying a copy but didn't get it signed. So he's not cool like the rest of us. But, yeah, this is my favorite book that I own right now. It actually goes up on the shelf, and I show it off to everybody that comes to the house. Not only is it a really, really amazing story, it's like, it has personal meaning to it now. I mean, as you can see in all my videos, my intro has that picture of the four of us standing there with Chris Claremont, all holding our books. So it's very special to me, and that's what makes it my favorite book. Next, Michael Gantner asked, what is your favorite record you own? Holy tough question. I have a huge collection of records. If you don't know, I did a whole series of videos on it called Vinyl Vortex. I forget how many videos it ended up being. They were all like half an hour a piece, and I just showed off every record I had. But I picked out a few special ones just to show. One of my all-time favorites is B.B. King live at Cook County Jail. This is just awesome. B.B. King, just the master of blues guitar, and playing to a yard full of prisoners. Just cool. Really cool thing to do. The cover is also textured to look like denim, which makes it really awesome. So, love that record. Next, personal favorite of mine, Suicide Machines Battle Hymns. Suicide Machines are a pretty big act from around my area. Love these guys, and they don't have a copy in vinyl of their first record. So this one, I remember being a kid, and not a kid, but like 13, and going to Harmony House and picking this album up the day it came out. I was so stoked. Well, that CD. And then later on I found this on vinyl, so love it. Next, this Springstones album. It's actually a live recording of Bruce Springsteen and the Rolling Stones. Now, I don't know if it's true, but on the back here, it says that this is a spitefully limited edition of 50 copies divided into 25 copies on ordinary black wax and 25 copies on multicolored wax. Enjoy it. This is a black wax copy. I don't know if that's true, where there's only like 50 copies of this album in the entire world. If that's true, this makes this my most rare album. I've never been able to find anything out about it. I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's awesome, though. And then another personal favorite, Elliott Smith, Either Or. I love every single track on this album. One of my favorite albums of all time. Elliott Smith is one of my favorite songwriters of all time. Just love him. And, yeah, fantastic album. But probably one of my all-time favorite albums was also the first album I ever bought. And that's David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Listen to it if you haven't. And Michael also asks, other than the cat we see in your videos, do you have any other pets? I actually have two cats. Chloe, who is the tabby cat. You see sometimes her butt, in the video. And Phoenix is the yellow cat I have. But we also have 4 fish and a shark. The tank's right over there. We've had them for quite a while now. The shark is just a rainbow shark, like that big-ish. Yeah, just fish. Then we have a couple questions from Clever Presents. He asks, how old is your son? Lucas is 5 right now, 5.5 right now, if you ask him. What state do you live in? I live in Michigan, as I've already said in this video. One time, we live in Oakland County. Not quite Detroit, but I live like half hour, 45 minutes away. And then, what's an old series that you loved that's not currently done? The Spectre. I'd love to see a modern Spectre. Or not modern. I mean, there's been Spectre done recently, but not coming out right now. I'd love to see a Spectre book coming out right now. That'd be awesome. This is a long video. I'm sorry. Scott X1307 asks, what's your favorite car of all time? I actually have a Matchbox car of it, and this is it right here. This is a 57 Shelby Cobra. Love this car. It's like my holy grail of cars. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to see one on the road, but never ride in one. But they're just badass. They're so awesome. I'd love to have one, but they're super expensive. Even if you buy a kit for it, super expensive. He also asked, who's your favorite non-comic book artist? Mine, you mentioned painters. I was a photography major in college, so photography is kind of my thing as far as art's concerned. And my favorite photographer is Ansel Adams. He did really amazing black and white nature shots, especially at Yellowstone National Park. Just phenomenal. His use of contrast is just amazing. Yeah, so Ansel Adams is my favorite artist. Do you prefer mountains or the beach? I'm a mountain guy. Don't like the beach. I don't like sand getting in between my toes. I hate like lakes. I don't like lakes. They're just so dirty. If I want to go swimming, I like to go in a pool. The ocean is completely disgusting to me. Yeah, so mountains all the way. Then he asks, what's your favorite season of the year? Mine is the same as yours, my friend. I'm a big fan of the fall, autumn. Here in Michigan, the leaves on the trees change colors and it's just beautiful. I love the fall. I love the temperature. Like being warm and cold at the same time. You'll see me rocking shorts and a hoodie. Love the autumn. Love it. A question from Stupid Chainsaw Productions. What was the most tedious work you've had to go through for one issue? I still don't have it, but I've had a pain in the ass time trying to find Werewolf by Night number 32. It has eluded me every con I've been to. Every single eBay bid I've put in for it has, like at the last minute, been snatched away, and I'm still working on it. So I don't even want to get started. But, yeah, Werewolf by Night number 32, which is the first appearance of Moon Knight. I have 33, which is the second appearance, but it's not the same, is it? No, it's not. Devin's Comics asked, is there a series you've read that everyone else loved and you hated? Superman. Any Superman book everybody loves and I hate. Except for Red Sun. I actually enjoyed Red Sun. But every other Superman book I don't like at all. John DaCosta asks, did I leave my iPhone charger at your house? No. Nope, you didn't. I don't think so. I looked around. I really did. After you asked this, I actually did search. So if you're missing it, I'm sorry, buddy. Maybe Nate or CJ snatched it up. You should ask them. Speaking of Nate, he did a video and didn't ask me a question. Thanks a lot, bud. Then Scott Costin Bromstar asks, have you ever had to use penicillin? I have not had to use penicillin since the last time I was in Canada, which was years ago. So I've been pretty clear lately. Thank you, though. The Gifted Youngster asked, what's your top 5 favorite video games? I actually have a list. I wrote them down in a list. This is in no particular order. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for the NES. Silent Hill for the PS2. Super Mario 1 for the NES. Pitfall for Atari. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. The NES was right when I was big into video games, if I ever really was big into video games. And Silent Hill has personal things. Like my wife and I, before we were married, when we were dating, we'd play that game together. She'd read off the walkthrough, and we'd just go through it like it was a movie. And my sister would sit down and go through it with us, and it was pretty scary and pretty awesome. So it's personal reasons for that one. Not that it's an overly fantastic game, and I wouldn't be able to figure it out if I didn't have the walkthroughs. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. And then we have Comic Order 410 asks 5 or 10 of my favorite movies. I have a ton of movies. But here's some of them that I really, really love. High Fidelity, like I said already. Princess Bride, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, SLC Punk, Field of Dreams. It makes me cry every single time, but I love it. Princess Mononoke, I went a year and a half where I had to watch that movie every night before I went to sleep. Love that film. 300, it's like the ultimate guy movie, and I love that movie. Almost Famous, another movie that makes me cry every time, but it's awesome. Back to the Future, I love. And A Hard Day's Night, love that movie, and it was actually the first movie I watched with Lucas when he was a baby. So, not that he remembers it, and not that it would matter to him, but it means something to me. So, yeah. Ooh, this is a long video, and I'm sorry. But this is the last question from Tom Ryan. What titles do you collect back issues of? I have my tome right here. Right now, I am collecting The Brave and the Bold. Kind of collecting Defenders, but not really. I'm collecting Jack Kirby's The Demon. Fantastic Four, not really going after, but, you know, it's there. The Green Lantern and Green Arrow run of Green Lantern, going from issue 76 to 122. I have most of them, but 76 through 89 are the really expensive ones, so I don't have any of those yet. And then I'm missing 116 as well. Going pretty hard after Hellblazer. Probably like halfway done with that. House of Mystery and House of Secrets, if I ever see them, I pick them up. All the Iron Fist volumes. Mark Spector Moon Knight, I still have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 issues of that to pick up still, and then I'll be done with that one. I have all my Moon Knights complete except for the Shadowland 3-part series. Kind of going after New Mutants, not really. I'm almost done with Volume 1 of Night Force. I only need 5 and 6 for that. Collecting Power Man. Power Man of Iron Fist. Collecting Spectre. Swamp Things. Went kind of heavy on Volume 1 of Swamp Thing at the con. I'm going to try and complete that pretty soon. I completed V for Vendetta at the con. Looking for Ghosts and Secrets of Haunted House. 87 Boba Fett, Mike and I are kind of going after Amazing Spider-Man. Whenever we see good deals, we pick them up. So very few marked off there, but picking those up. And that's all I have in my tome right now, but there's always more being added and taken away. So, and that was actually the last question. So that's it. Sorry, this is going on for like an hour, but want to answer all the questions that you guys asked me. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Congratulations to the winners again that got pulled yesterday. And talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.